advisor with Rosenberg Financial Group, and this is take 2 of our live interview. And hopefully y'all can hear us this time. We lost sound on the other one, so we decided to, in lieu of that, to try one more time. Being that anybody who knows me knows I do not give up very easily. It's pretty hard-headed. So, Philip, thanks for being here again. Thanks for hanging around and trying this again.
Yeah.
So we're just going to continue on, and hopefully y'all can hear us, and hopefully we won't lose sound. So Philip is here to answer many questions that are on everyone's mind at the moment, and that's about their finances and the economy in light of COVID-19. Philip, as I said, is a financial advisor with Rosenberg Financial Group, and they have offices in Tallahassee and Thomasville. And he also offers group benefits through Big Oak Benefits, which Big Oak Benefits Group, which is in Thomasville. And because of his involvement with group benefits, and also as a financial advisor, Philip does have a unique perspective on the current economic situation. So just to hop right into it again, Philip, tell us, where are we right now as far as with this current situation with COVID-19? Just kind of give us a general overview of where we are with everything.
For sure. So obviously, for the last month, the markets have been a little crazy. If you've been paying attention to your statements, been up and down, very volatile, really down there the first few weeks of March. And just to be clear, that in 2019, coming into 2020, every financial analyst, there was no prediction or insight that there was going to be some kind of giant dip in the market. Really, what everybody was saying was that it was going to be a nice kind of transition where the market was popping in 2019, and it was going to kind of carry over into 2020. Maybe not as much, but still it was going to be a good year to stay in the market and everything with it. And then obviously the COVID-19 came in and decided it had different plans for what we're going to do. So, but with that being said, there was no economic indicators saying, hey, we're going to go through a potential recession. Everything was moving right along in our economy. And so with that being said, this virus has kind of made some trouble where people ask, are we in a recession? Technically, from a technical and financial standpoint, no, we're not. We have to be down for 2 consecutive quarters, a decline 2 consecutive quarters to be really called a recession. Can we head into a recession? Are we heading there? Yes, there's a good chance we're heading there if, which I'm praying for every day, that a vaccine does not come out, or a really steady cure. There's several different treatments out there that hospitals are trying to use, and so right now, people are being laid off. They're holding tight to their money. Spending is going down. Obviously spending is up, and if you go to Publix or Walmart, people are probably buying way more than what they actually need, but that brings them safety. And so, but overall spending is down, unemployment is up, there's a lot of signs saying that, hey, there could be a recession, but does that mean it's going to happen? I don't know, Leslie. That's really for the Lord to decide what's going to happen.
Well, would you not agree that, would you not agree that it's unlike 2008, the Great Recession, because there is not a housing crisis right now. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, that's a positive thing to look at when we think of the fact that a recession may be upon us.
Right.
So, well, since we're talking about that, so what do you think if we do go into recession? What are the analysts saying about how we may recover?
Well, how do you recover from a recession? Obviously, people have to get out there, jobs have to be made, right? jobs have to be made, money has to be made, spending has to happen. There's several different things you can do. I will say this is that many people have lost their jobs, and it breaks my heart. It's a hard situation, but I believe that there's going to be many more job opportunities in other sectors that are going to come of this.
Yes.
That's what a good advisor and analyst is looking at is where are we moving? I don't think the world's ever going to be the same after this, right?
Yeah, I don't either.
I think that the way business is done is going to change. I
Yeah.
believe, priorities are going to change. 08, 09, college admission was up because people wanted to go back and find a more recession-resistant type of career. And I think that this is going to push them further back into getting a different education, changing careers, realizing that the world is not going to be the same. How can we prepare? And so where jobs might be lost right now, I think, if you look at Amazon, they are hiring tons of people right now at a good pay rate. I mean, Zoom, they're hiring people. There's so many things, hospitals.
So much opportunity right now, really, is what you're saying. For
Exactly.
Sure.
So, there's an opportunity to change your career path, opportunity to invest in different vehicles that you haven't thought about before.
Yeah. There's definitely, you can put a spin on this however you want. You can make it negative or you can make it positive. Yeah. And so I guess what people are really scared about, it's those people that are looking at their stocks or they're looking at their retirement account and they're seeing it, all over the place. So what would you say to those people, Philip?
Yeah, that's great. I love it that people are active at looking their finances. It's good for you to be involved, to understand what's going on with your money. Don't be super passive. But I will say this, is that if you, are a younger person like me in your 30s, 20s, your 40s, and if you've found some stocks, some bonds, some mutual funds, ETFs, then your retirement account, and your retirement account is a long time horizon, especially if you're in your 30s. That's about another 30 years before you really need to start drawing on it. Don't withdraw your money. Don't stop putting money in your account.
Can you give us that same example that you gave us earlier when we lost audio about if you're a young person?
Yeah. So from the year 1998 to the year 2018, there's a little statistic out there that if you had put money in the market, and this is graded by the S&P index, if you had put your money in there and left it alone, then you would have averaged 7.3% over that 20 years, through the ups, through the downs, through 08 and 09, through the tech burst, back in the early 2000s, you would have made at least 7.3%.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do the math really quick. 365 days times 20 years equals, 7,300 days total.
Yeah.
So, but if you would have just missed 10 of the best days out of that 7,300 days, which that is, you would have had to been a prophet to be able to find what days, are the best days during that time. Yeah. You would have cut your gains in half. Yeah. You would be now down to 3.7% is what you would have made average. Yeah. So let's just dial it back and say, if you would have missed 30 of those days, of the best days in the market for those 7,300 days, you would have actually gone negative 0.4%. Yeah. So you're not even making anything. You've actually would have lost money.
Right.
Let's go all the way to 60 days, which really 60 days out of 7,300 is not a lot.
Right.
You would have been at negative 4.98% by taking your money out and, trying to find the best time to put it back in. Your average investor, your smaller investor, they're always doing the opposite of what they're supposed to do in the market.
Yeah.
You know, we as human beings throughout history have followed the herd mentality. When you hear, you know, when a whole group is running one way screaming, you're running with them because you don't want to see what's on the other end of that. You know, but in the market, that is the worst possible thing to do.
Right.
You know, your average investor, they've heard it all their life. You know, you you sell when the market is high, you buy when the market is low. When the market takes a dip now,
Yeah.
most of your people are selling. They're
Yeah.
selling when it's low, they're buying when it's high, and that's what that statistic represents, is
Yeah.
that you're probably going to be in the negative if you decided to just to pull your money out when you want to and bought when you want to. So
Well,
yeah.
so are you saying that now then is a good time if you are, even if you haven't already started investing in the stock market? Are you saying there that this is a great buying opportunity?
Yes and no. So a lot of people have been calling me and they're like, Philip, I want to get in the stock market. I would love
Yeah.
to do this. And really, Leslie, what they want to do is day trading. Day trading is essentially they're buying one stock in the morning time, hoping it goes up
Yeah.
in by the evening and selling. And it's just not a prudent way to invest unless you are 100% committed to it and you're educated in it and you know what to look for and you know how to read charts and everything with it. Then yeah, you can do that. But most of your average investor just wants to say, hey, I want to take $500 and see what happens. I'm telling them, hey, if you need money right now, if that $500 is going to make it where you can't pay your utilities, you need to keep that money right now. Like, um, short-term investing is not what I do, and it's not what most people should do. Investing should be for the long haul. You know, that's how, you know, you see, uh, you know, people make their money is through the long. You don't buy a rental house, rent it out for 2 days, and then sell it back, having to pay
That's a
all
good
those
example.
closing fees and
Yeah.
everything that were associated with that. You didn't make your money, and
Right.
that's the way a security should be treated. It should
Right.
be treated as a long-term investment.
So what about, there's so many resources out there. We talked about one earlier before we got on live. People will put out these articles and say these are the best stocks to invest in right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, who do we listen to, or what? How do we react to those?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. You know, I read those as well. You know, I like to see what, you know, the Motley Fool and Market Watch and all those guys out there, you know, Yahoo Finance, what are they saying? Why are they saying this? Um, but I'll tell you this, there hasn't been one time where I went out and bought one of those stocks. You
Yeah.
know, there hasn't been because a lot of times those stocks don't meet my family and my personal objective of what I want to accomplish with my
Right.
money. And so when they write these articles, they're writing this articles based on of marketing into millions and millions of people, right? They're
Right.
not thinking of you. They're not targeting you specifically. They're just throwing it out there. Hopefully you click on it and read their article and they get paid for that click. And so it is important for you, if you want to invest and you want to be serious about investing, to reach out to a financial advisor, a financial
Right.
professional. You know, there's myself. You have Micah Elkins at Edward Jones. You know,
Yeah.
Alan Mooney and Barnes has a great team. You know, there's a whole slew of great advisors in the Thomasville area
Yeah.
that can help you say, hey, what's your time horizon? What do you want to do with this money? Why do you want to invest? You know, they can ask you the questions and then they can help hold you accountable to what those goals were. So you're not just getting eaten up with fees and everything and
Yeah.
not doing what you're not supposed to be doing in your account. So reach out to your advisor or find an advisor and have them educate you. Usually we're not going to charge you for a consultation, really how we make money is when we start doing the investing portion, but the
Yeah.
consultation is usually not a way that we're going to make our money on
Yeah.
that. So feel free to do that.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about too. I know that you offer group benefits. How has this COVID-19 situation affected benefits?
So everybody has to adapt, right? Everybody is adapting, and I love seeing it. Thank God for technology. I'm working from my house, get to use Zoom. It's
Thank
awesome.
God for technology, but
Yeah.
yeah, it may or may not work.
Yeah, right. But group benefits, there's one big thing out there. Most of your health plans out there have, they started adapting it, I would say about 2 years ago. It's called teledoc or telemedicine. And really what it is a virtual doctor. A lot of people are scared to go to their doctor right now, me being one of them, honestly, because they think, well, their offices probably have the virus, just sitting there ready to attack me once I move the door. So, but it doesn't mean that you need to stop seeing a health professional. And so you need to find your benefit summary and find, does my health insurance include telemedicine, where you get to have a meeting like this with a doctor, with a board certified physician, to talk to them about your issues and what's going on and what to do next. And usually it's a small copay of $10 or $15 for that. So it's a way to save money. And it's a way to, potentially save your life, if you're having some major issues, but anxiety of going to see your physician. So that's one thing. I know Guardian, who does dental plans, they are coming out with a teledentist. So because a lot of dentists, including mine, had to shut down unless of an emergency. But, my wife the other day was talking about having a toothache. And so we're going to do a teledentist conference with a dentist to look at her teeth and get some advice on what to do next. Another big thing that I'm happy about is that a lot of these insurance companies like Blue Cross, United Healthcare, and Aetna are actually allowing a special enrollment period for those employees who decided they didn't want to take health insurance during their regular open enrollment period. They can now come on to that plan with a either April or May 1st effective date to make sure them and their family are covered. God forbid they get this disease, this virus, and they need coverage. That's super important during this time. So reach out to your broker, to get more answers on that. And so they're making, and then some, I'll be honest with you, some short-term disability plans out there actually that were issued in 2016 actually have quarantine coverage.
Wow.
So you lose your job, your business gets shut down because of a state mandated quarantine, then you are actually going to be receiving up to 60% of your pay while at home because that qualified for a short-term disability. And so that's another really cool aspect there.
Are you saying that the insurance companies, and there are some insurances now that already have that in place, or is that something that they're adding on as a result of what we're seeing right now?
You're talking about the short-term disability?
Quarantine.
Yeah. So that was already there.
Yeah.
They're not, I don't know, I haven't seen any of them that are adding that on.
Yeah.
But there's a potential that if you have, I know for a fact, Guardian, short-term disability, and you've had it for a few years, that your employer you might actually have access to that. And so it's important, again, reach out to your benefits broker and ask them, do we have anything in place for this? Not every carrier's doing it, but there might be a chance that could help you.
Right. Well, and that was what I was going to ask next, because there are so many people right now that are hurting financially. And I think that's going to probably, the number of people are going to continue to increase for a little bit. What are some things that we can do to prepare better for this in the future?
So I'm not trying to recreate the wheel and whatsoever. I like Dave Ramsey's baby steps, right? The 7 baby steps. 1, make sure you have $1,000 in your account that you don't touch. I'll tell you this right now. I have some clients that spend all the money they bring in. And so I set up a brokerage account that we withdraw X amount of dollars from their paycheck, every paycheck, and put into a brokerage account that they can't touch without calling me. They don't have access to withdraw that money until they call me and ask for that money. and I know their goals and their objectives, and so I'm holding them accountable. And so that is a very effective tool of how to make sure that you can't just spend that money when
Yeah.
temptation comes your way.
Yeah.
That's one way. Another way is it is important, it is imperative, as many people see, to have 3 to 6 months of emergency savings, 3 to 6 months of your expenses, your household expenses, your mortgage, your rent, your utilities, your health insurance, insurance, all types of insurance payments, groceries, anything that you find essential in this time, you need to make sure that you have, I like to say 6 months worth, because
so basically everybody's going to make sure they have plenty of toilet paper, number one, right?
That's no, but
is that in Dave Ramsey's plan?
Ramsey's going to revise his books, with a roll of toilet paper on the cover, it's
Well,
like,
I mean, so really, Philip, it's just common sense. I mean, because I mean, really, everything to me that you're saying, it's we've talked about that. We know things are definitely going to change after all this, right? The way things are done, everything's, so there are some things that may not go back to normal, right?
Right.
And there might be some opportunity out there, but we need to make sure we consult our financial advisor. And we definitely don't need to panic, right? I mean, because you do hear a lot of that, especially older people. I've got an older, that sounds horrible, older mom. My mother is, I guess, elderly. She's
right.
Sorry, Mom. But I know that it's scary, because she is now retired and she's looking at all those numbers, and really it's hard not to have some fear, wouldn't you say?
No, it is hard not to worry. I do believe your mom and people that are in their 50s and 60s and 70s, this is a super important time to be talking to your, financial rep right now. Are we doing the right thing? Can we move money somewhere? What are some other investment vehicles that we could put this money in to protect it better, to be able to reach this objective? That's what we're getting paid for. That is our job, to do that. And there are things out there to help people with, and honestly, I'm a man of prayer. It's just, I wake up every day, I haven't changed my schedule. I'm up every morning, around 6:45, and I'm going into a time of prayer, and I'm asking the Lord, give me peace for the day, give me strength, and give me wisdom. And that's why I can sit here with a smile on my face, is, I trust him at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And now the biggest thing is some groups out there want to say that faith is the lack of wisdom, right? It's like, no. My faith in God brings me wisdom. And hearing his voice talking to me brings me my wisdom. And that means I'm not going to do stupid things. I'm not going to go hang out in Walmart in the bathroom for a while and then whatever, and so also, find wisdom and peace with the Lord in your finances as well. But that doesn't mean, well, let me go spend all my money like I normally do and do the same things I was doing. No, wisdom says there needs to be changes made. You need to realize it and walk that out. So, yeah.
I think that was probably the best advice that you could definitely give us. I mean, for sure. So is there anything else before we go, that you might just want to say to try to encourage everybody right now about what's going on in the market and what we may be looking at in the future?
Yeah. I don't know how many, I try to Google this yesterday. How many times has the word unprecedented event, happened in the news, in the headlines throughout the last 100 years? I didn't find it, but there was several things that did pop up. You had, the stock market crash, the Great, Depression. You had the Great Recession. You had, the tech bubble burst. You had 9/11. There was just, you had Pearl Harbor and, World War I, World War II. There was so much stuff that's happened. And so even though we haven't seen this specific event right now, and we haven't seen this specific event ever happen.
Yeah.
That, what can we say? Did we ever see, 9/11 happen? Have we ever seen Pearl? I mean, there's so many things that are a one and done scenario.
Yeah.
But, first and foremost, I don't put my trust in the American economy. I put my trust in the Lord. But I will say, with that being, with me saying that, is that we are going to bounce back. This isn't the end of the world. This isn't, the end of the U.S. economy. We're going to come back from this. And so just remain calm, lean into wisdom, lean into the Lord, and reach out. Honestly, reach out right now. If you are hurting financially, you need to do some active shopping. Don't be passive. If your insurance rates are too high for your home and auto, go see somebody like Jackie Spadoni at 𝗱𝗲𝘃𝗀𝘁𝗁, or Stephen Cox at Progressive, or Stephen Gaines at State Farm. If you're a business and you're paying way too much for payroll, go see Dylan Williams at Williams CPA. There's businesses out there that are still active. They still want to help you. It is now time for you to be active with your finances and and find the best rates possible. If you are spending more than 28% of your income on your home insurance or your rent and your mortgage, then you're paying too much. It's time to maybe think about downsizing. It's time to get out of debt. Find a Financial Peace University class. If you are up to your neck in debt and you're like, I don't even know how I'm going to survive this crisis right now, especially if you've lost your job, I want to help you get out of debt. I want to teach you through that. Go online to Dave Ramsey's website and find a Financial Peace University class in your area. Like, get out of debt, and it's going to make which something like this is going to happen again, right? That's, you can be certain. You can be certain of uncertainty. And so get out of debt, get prepared. Don't be passive. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Make your family, put yourself on a better foothold for the future. So I would say that. Sorry, that's my little soapbox. Going to get
off. No, this has been. I mean, it's been really helpful. And I know before we go, you mentioned you had something on your Facebook page, like a simulator. Do you have a business page, Philip, or is this your personal page?
It's just on my personal Facebook page, and which my personal Facebook page I share with my wife. It's Philip and Christina Ambrose with
sweet.
that. And if you were like, hey, you know what? I want to get into the market, but I'm still a little worried. Maybe I want to wait a little bit of time for this rough patch to go through. That's fine. But what you can do is I have a stock market simulator posted on my page that you can it's actually through either Investatopia or MarketWatch. Google that, Investatopia or MarketWatch stock market simulator, and they'll give you, 10,000, fake dollars to actually put into the market, and you'll see how your picks actually perform. It's going to help you understand the volatility of the market more, understand what you can expect, kind of take away some of those fears, because we fear what we don't know. A lot of people don't know the market, and so kind of take over those fears by reading those articles, that you talked about earlier about the best stocks, but then actually maybe go
Kramer in the afternoons.
Kramer in the afternoon. Yeah, that's great. So, but yeah, just know I'm here for anybody that needs to talk. Hit me up on Facebook. Call my, the number you posted on the flyers, my cell phone number. You can call and text me, and I'm available.
We'll definitely put your contact information in the post. For those of y'all who joined us earlier and we got cut off, hopefully now we've gotten to complete. We redid our interview, and just a lot of great information, Philip. But I think one of the Doug says one of the things you taught us today was not to hang out in the. Doug says I was on my way to Walmart to hang out in the bathroom, but thank goodness. So. Other than learning about not hanging out the bathroom at Walmart, Walmart, nothing against y'all. I just love your take on it. I love your positivity. I love the fact that you are not afraid to share your faith. I think that is so important. I love that about our community. You know, there's so many leaders, you know, business and financial leaders that are that way. And I think that you've got a lot of great things to say, but also a lot of wisdom. So I would highly recommend, if you don't have a financial advisor, Philip would be a good one to check out. We'll put his contact information in the post. And Philip, thank you so much for being with us. This has been fun.
Thank you, Leslie.
Technically challenging, but it's also been real informative, and I appreciate you so much and your willingness to do it.
You're so welcome, and I'm so thankful for, you know, the support your team is showing the community. You know, I've kept up with you on Facebook, and I had ideas for yard signs as well, and so I love that you came out with that yard sign idea. I'll definitely be buying a few from you and just showing my support.
I don't think I don't think we can, you know, we can't overdo being positive and being kind, and I mean, that's just, I think, just making somebody smile during this time. I mean, you can't put a price on that, that's for sure. So tomorrow we've got 𝗲𝗃𝗃𝗀𝘃𝗲. He's going to be here if y'all were listening. Am I saying his name right, Philip? Is it 𝗲𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃?
𝗃𝗃𝗃 from Rumble's Office Supplies. Yeah,
yes,
𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃.
He's going to be talking with us about cybersecurity, because, you know, all of us are on the internet so much this time. So there's plenty of opportunity for us to be taken advantage of. So he's going to be here tomorrow. We'll be doing it again at 1 o'clock. Y'all pray with us that we don't have technical problems tomorrow. But this has been so much fun. So anyway, thank you so much. Thank you for listening, everybody out there. And put your questions in the comments. I'll tag Philip, and maybe he can help answer any questions you may have.
Thank you so much, Leslie. I hope you all have a great day.
All right. Thank you. You too. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.